All right, we're into mid-April now, cruising right along. April 12th. This session just takes us to part 5, and we've been rolling with guys that have been able to articulate their step one. George, Peter, Dan last week, and Mike the plumber this week. And Mike, he says, don't, build me up because I've not really made any money. His whole career, he came to us about a month ago. Caught him to cut his size down. I just was saying earlier that it's a skill to not be afraid to lose money, but you got to channel it the right way. It's not bad to have that as part of your that's not a bad tool, but you got to know how to use it, or it could be destructive. But if you were afraid to lose money, guess what? Think of the opposite of not being afraid to lose money, being scared to death of losing money. You're just going to go out and get a job, get paid whatever you get paid, right? You want the certainty and the comfort. This ain't for you. So it's not bad to be unafraid to lose money. You just have to manage that and channel that. And so that's one thing Mike said. He's never been afraid to lose money. Now, he's traded too big, which is also not a bad thing. It's a bad thing to trade big and you haven't proven anything, but it's not bad to be able to trade big. That's another skill that only some people could throw 95 miles an hour. You can't teach that. So that's important. I'll just lay these things out before Mike and I talk. This isn't going to be all about Mike. It's just something he is working on, and it's a work in progress that he has allowed to tie the stuff he had to what he's learned in putting together a step one, an explanation of what it takes to pick up your gun. That's what this series has been about the last 5 weeks, the last 4 weeks. For the market and those that aren't in the trading room with us day in and day out, it's still kind of a sideways directionalist consolidation. If you look at it daily, sideways, sideways, sideways until we get a big breakout. Today wasn't actually bad. What's good is straight line type of moves out of our consolidation, at least interday. But we're waiting for the FOMC meeting next week, a week from tomorrow. I think it's a week or 2 weeks from tomorrow, but it's this month. And is it live? They're not going to raise rates, but how close does their statement, how hawkish is their statement next week? So make sure you know what's going on preparation-wise if you're not with us day in and day out like some of you are. This has really hit home, this Step 1 series, to a lot of people from feedback I've got, unsolicited feedback, how good it's been, how helpful it's been, and that's what's important about staying in touch with people is you're only going to give your best self the best chance by working on it, and something will hit you over right between the eyes. Could be something that I said, something George says, something anybody says. They might say the same damn thing but a different way or in a different accent, and it hits you, right? So let's roll right into Mike. Hold on, Mike. Let me do a couple things. I'm going to make you a presenter. Mike, it's gonna ask you to, it's gonna unmute your microphone. It's gonna ask you to be presenter and show your screen. Oh, look at him. It's an expert.
Mechanical stuff I'm good at.
Hold on. Let me raise your volume. Mike, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it looks good. All right, looks good. So real quick though, I don't want to give them your back. A lot of guys know. You might have this flashing thing with your screen like George does sometimes. We're just going to have to bear with it. I don't know if you don't notice it, but your charts are flashing off, and we're able to see what's behind them, but only for a second.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to put one chart up? And it doesn't. I don't care. There's nothing there.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, let's see. Maybe it won't flash as much. Right now it's up. I think when you move something. Do you see how you have a pen? If you want, you could. You see
a pen? What, on your drop down?
No, on your little panel. That panel you have, there's a little pen you could click if you want to draw anything.
Drawing tools menu. I could use the mouse and show.
Yeah, just use the
the stuff
mouse.
that I'm going to show is, stuff that I'm sure everybody's aware of.
Listen, more people know about you than you realize based on your being in the team room and then what I just said.
Well, everybody thinks I'm a plumber, and I am, but not to the extent that you say I am. So,
Well, what are you so we could clear the air?
I'm a heating and air conditioning contractor.
And you own the company.
Oh yeah, for 35 years.
35 years, and you've been successful at it.
Yeah, I guess you would say yes. Yeah.
Well, you've had enough success where you could blow a lot of money trading and not change your lifestyle, right?
Thank God for the heating and air conditioning business, for sure.
All right, so you fit the mold of a lot of guys that do this because most guys, and really almost 100%, have been successful and are successful at something.
Right.
And that trading.
Well, all that stuff, I grew up thinking the harder you work, you can get anything, and everything in life was always like that until I met trading, because no one works harder than I do.
Well, it's not the harder, it is the smarter,
right,
that gets you there. It's
it's a different mentality. It's really a different mentality.
Yes, I've been saying that for years. You take conventional wisdom, you almost turn it around in many respects.
Right, right.
Hey, listen, Harvard grads, when they say smart money, it's not smart. It's information before the other guy. It's getting the oil, like that oil story today was super bullish. Well, the smart money was absorbing sell-offs, and they were doing it because they knew at 9:30 Central there was going to be a press release that said Russia and Saudi Arabia have reached an agreement, and that was going to create a nice pop. And it does, and it did. And listen, they didn't go to Harvard to understand what was going to happen. They just got the tip. What's the tip? And I was, you're able to come in there and buy the ES off of that story and wait and watch what happens. Could be great trades. And then all the hard work and books you read would have never prepared you to just be in the position to click, 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 you're long. And it worked, All right, well, go ahead. I'll let you go.
Well, what I've been looking at for years, I only been in the Edge Room a month and a half. Actually, I was in the Edge Room about 2 years ago, and I joined. And I joined in the spring, and I get really busy in the summer.
Well, you mean the trading room, not the Edge Room.
The trading room.
Yeah.
No, not the Edge Room. Yeah.
Got it.
The reason why I joined the Edge Room is because Anthony wouldn't leave me alone in the trading room. I was trying to trade. Are you going to join? You're going to join. It was worth the $2,000.
Because you kept asking questions that were answered, and I'm like, I got to get this guy in. But you're happy you did it, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Just for the comedic value, yeah, definitely. I just want to let everybody know that the credibility of this room is going to drop by tons now that I'm doing an Edge meeting.
I think it'll go up, but no, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate the humbleness that you're coming here with, and the honesty. A lot of people don't want to admit it. Your screen's driving me nuts, though. Why does it keep flashing?
Is it because it's active? Do you want me to shut it?
I don't know.
What's it doing? It seems normal to me.
It is normal to you, but it's flashing to you guys?
What about now?
Yeah, it's still flashing. This happens with George sometimes.
I don't know what it is.
What is it, George? Do you remember? It might be when you move your mouse.
What if I take the crosshairs off?
Yeah, take the crosshairs off. Be funny if that's it. Man, you're a whiz at Market Delta.
No, that's very hard to Market Delta.
All right.
So you want me to tell you what?
George says it's. Hold on, Mike. George says it's the mouse. The more you move the mouse, the more it's going to flash.
I won't touch it.
See,
you want me to take the mouse off the screen? How about that?
Yeah, but it's going to be hard for you. No, it still flashes unless you kicked it. Wait a second. wait, because this never happens to me. There's something different here. There's something that's...
you want me to put it on a different screen?
Put these charts on a different screen and then share a different screen. Just see if that works.
How do you do that?
Well, you just go to that screen. It says, show, that big round play button? It says Show My.
Right.
Hit that screen arrow, and then as you scroll down, it'll flash the different screens that it would show, the different monitors that it would show. You'll see, not a flash, you'll see like an outline of that monitor. And select clean, like monitor 1 clean, 2 clean, whatever. You see that?
Yeah. So it's blinking like crazy?
Well, now it isn't.
All right, so then let's leave it alone.
Let's leave it alone. Forget about it. Well, here,
All right.
let's start this. Let's start this.
I can tell you what I spend time. So for
Good.
10 years, I've been looking for, I guess, the Holy Grail like everybody else. And I try to look at different things and try to take different things from different people, and maybe something will line up, and I'll have enough consistency with it to, make good trades. My thing is to, be, 50, 60% or better trader. If I can do that, I make money. If I can't, it's good for me to stay out. So for years, I've been a price action guy with support and demand zones. I don't know if you can see the 6,500 volume chart.
Yes.
And, I've been trading, resistance lines, support and resistance lines, price action, second entries, traps. I've been trading all that, but I never really put it, I don't know, I think George explained it to me the best. He's like, you got to just make believe you're on the other side. Where would you be, So what I did is I've been looking at the 6 PNF chart. And
wait, before you go on, you said you can be 50, 60% accurate, make money, which means your average winners have consistently been better than your average losers?
What I tend to be is a very active, maybe too active trader.
Okay.
That's why my fees are a lot, and that's why I got a lease, which was the best thing, even if you're not an active trader. $1.94 is a really good number for fees.
Well, that's my point. That's the thing. Coming to a community where you're going to get that in and of itself to save people money, and that's like the inside to the business. All right, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all George. I mean, I came in and said you should have a lease, and we did it. I mean, it's a little aggravating, but once you get it all set up, when you look at that statement and you see $1.94, it doesn't hurt as bad.
No.
What I do is when you're a scratch trader, you find a lot of times you're chasing your fees all the time.
Oh, and that's crazy because the skill doesn't come from what you're being charged. And in the pit, when everything was in the pit, guys never even looked at what their commission was because it was negligent.
Right.
Right. But go ahead. You go on to the 6 PNF.
So the 6 PNF, and I always like to look at the 6 PNF, and I was like, I should be able to do something with this, and I'm sure everybody's discovered this already. But when you have that momentum, I call it the first bar, momentum bar, that gives you that shoot up, is my screen blinking?
It's not. Did you stop the data? It looks like you stopped the data on it.
No, I don't think I did. No.
Yeah, you did.
So,
trading 48, you're showing 48.50, or maybe it's not.
48.25 right now. No?
Well, it shows 48.50 on your screen.
I don't know. Right here, 48.25, 48.
Yeah.
You're not reading that?
Well,
it doesn't matter. So I've been, you look at the impulse bar, and what I found is if you wait for the next short bar, which is the short retrace bar, and you try to get in lower down here.
Wait. Time out. I know what happened. You're probably pausing your screen right now.
I don't think so, yeah. Maybe on your thing.
Right. So is your right now your screen?
Oh, okay.
See that blue circle button? Does it have a pause or a play?
Yeah, you're right. Should I just hit the arrow?
Yeah, hit the arrow.
How about now?
Yeah, now it's going to blink, but at least it's live.
You see me now?
Yeah. Just do it. Just let's go. We'll get through it.
Okay.
Because I liked what you were explaining it. By the way, Mike was explaining this to me in the Edge in the team room.
I mean, that's how this all started. Is I said, I think I seen something that might be useful to the guys in the room, and so I watched a lot of times for me, direction was a big problem. I find myself getting chopped up, not sure which direction is which, and I find if I look at the 6 PNF and we get an impulse bar, and you guys are screaming it long. And I'm thinking, all right, but George is getting in down here somewhere. And I'm like, this guy can see everything. I can't see that. So I'm waiting for this retrace. So I'm waiting for the second bar to confirm. Because sometimes you get an up-down bar, so you don't want to start taking trades off the second bar, but you want to take them off the third. Now, the problem with the 6 PNF, I don't know if anybody's aware or if you are already, when this bar goes up, it's got to retrace 6 ticks in order to start making the next bar. But what it does is it gives you, once it does that, it gives you a fake 4 ticks in the opposite direction. There's no price action on the other side of that. Now, eventually, it could come back through that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at these charts on a stagnant chart, everyone's a winner. Everyone's definitely a 4-tick winner. Very few losers.
Right.
So what I try to do is I wait for the third bar, and then I'm trying to get in 2 ticks right here, 2 ticks above this bar.
So that
And
bar's already closed.
My stop's going to be 4 ticks.
Wait.
But if it goes against me, I'm going to stop myself out. I'm not going to let it.
Mike, that bar's already closed. Put your arrow on a bar. That one's already closed before you're looking.
You got to wait for that to close.
Got it.
So when it closes,
that means that the markets. This isn't arbitrary where a bar closes opens. This means that the markets showed you how far and deep it's retraced the impulse bar.
Exactly. It's showing me that the direction is up.
Still up. Yes.
Absolutely up.
So wait a second. That bar closes. You're trying to get long as close to the bottom.
Exactly. Just like everybody else. You know, it's on George's Delta chart, it's a POC. On your chart, it's a thin area. You know, on my chart, it could be a supply and demand zone with a trap out the bottom. You know, and I'm just trying to get things to line up in my direction so I can get a 4-tick first target. You know, my whole goal is to make 5 or 6 trades, 4 or 5 or 6 trades, hopefully 4 of them are winners, and to trade 20 contracts so you can make a few $1,000s a day and you're done. Which sounds probably ridiculous to a lot of guys. I mean, you could trade a couple $100, whatever works. It's just, you know, that's always been my goal.
Yeah,
I used to be an oil trader, to be honest with everybody. I used to be an oil trader, and I found it a whole lot easier than the ES, just because it moves. The ES just sort of, you know, stammers. It, you know, could keep you, it make you go crazy. Well, so I felt like my locations definitely had to be better, and that's what I enjoy about the room. You know, I learned ancillaries, which I love the CL and NQ, watching them against the ES. I loved the bonds. I love to see the price action on the dome, which I never looked at. You know, that's the size on the dome. You know, you'll scream out, look, we got size at 47.5. And I'll say, okay, you know, that's like a magnet. You know, those are things that I would never even think about.
It's crazy that you were a price action trader in the past but never looked at the dome.
It really no. It depends on who's teaching you. You know.
Yeah, that's price action. Like It's like hey, let's learn to drive, but don't worry about the gas pedal and brake. We'll worry about
right. So to tell you the truth, I thought I had something with the PNF, but when I found that it's you know, it gave you those 4 ticks to the downside, it wasn't as easy, because every time, you know, if you see here, if you take 2 ticks in on the second bar, the third bar is coming down and it's going to give it to you, you know. And you get 4 ticks target, and then what you do with your runner, that's not a big deal. But it does seem to work. I mean, listen, did this come back and get me? No. So I never got into that trade. Did this one come and get me? Yeah, it did. And so I got 4 ticks out of that. This one, no. This one, yeah.
I see what you're saying. It doesn't. There's error in that other one.
Yeah. If you watch the PNF, watch this bar right now. It's gonna give you 4 fake ticks that price action never went through. Now, will it go through eventually? It might, but it's gonna show you after the fact that it looks like price action went there.
So give me in like 30 seconds. Let's say I'm a novice. Tell me what you're trying to do. Don't explain futures to me, but I'm looking at your chart. You know, I'm an apprentice. I'm looking at your chart. Mike, what are you doing?
What am I trying to do now?
Yeah. No, not now. What are you looking for? In 30 seconds.
Well, I'm looking for an impulse bar. I'm looking for momentum in a direction so I can find direction. That's one. Then I'm looking for a short retrace bar, because I can get momentum in one direction and I can get a big long bar. In other words, the next bar could be a up-down bar like this.
Right.
So then I'm still waiting for the short bar. So in other words, if I'm looking long. When I get this, I confirm long. If this bar comes down to here, now I'm looking short. And if I get
the
a short
bar is down.
Right, exactly.
So so you firm up you sit up in your chair when you see an impulse bar and a short retracement bar.
Right. So I'm not a breakout guy. I mean, could you be? Sure. I mean, you could take a breakout.
Well, you could morph into anything. So you could be a breakout guy when your locations are breaking out on that next move up, maybe.
Right.
Not trying to pull back. Are you using now? I've become less of a novice and more of a guy who might know the business and say, well, Mike, do you use correlations to help
Yeah, yeah.
Execute.
I'm definitely. The CL and the NQ help me the most because they move the quickest. So I have I have 6 screens like this. I get 6 charts like this. Now this is my NQ, and I have ZB, ZN, 6E, CL, NQ, and ES. And I do look at them. I got the 3 to go up on the top and the 3 to go down on the bottom.
Why don't you have a dome next to dome next to dome, or do you?
I do.
Good.
And I use this. I use market profile. I look for areas like, I've been waiting for it to hit this all day.
But don't look. One thing I would say is don't look for too much.
No, this is all just stuff that I'm not really. I trade off these 2 charts.
The reason why I'm saying is because you could get yourself impatient.
Confused. Sure.
And you
get
yourself beaten up.
That's the whole idea of this. It's using the 6P&F. You wait for that impulse bar. You wait for the second bar. Listen, I could find a reason to get long or short on every bar if you look at the 6,500 volume. I could play them both ways, think I'm going to make money both ways, just get chopped up.
Yes.
That was one of my biggest faults. But now with the 6P&F, I'm waiting for the impulse bar. And it doesn't have to be a crazy impulse. It could be this one right here. Now I'm waiting for the shorty. Now I'm going 2 ticks in, waiting for a buy. And I'll get it, and I'll win here. This would be a winner.
Well,
Does it come back and get me over here? It looks like it comes back and gets you, but it really doesn't. This is phantom. From here to here, that price action doesn't exist. So
wait a second. Why wouldn't it exist?
It doesn't exist. Unless I got the wrong setting on my computer. When this bar, watch it. When this bar,
it could exist.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it could.
It's not going to take you. I mean, it might, but I don't think so.
Wait a second.
It's never worked.
If I'm looking at, put your cursor onto the short bar right there.
This one?
Yeah, no, that one. So when that bar, when the price moves 6 ticks lower, that bar forms.
Okay.
So the low has to be at least, go to the long bar. Why are you going over there?
This goes up here. Well, this goes up, right?
Yes.
6 ticks for this to form. When this forms, it's forming here. This, from here to here, 4 ticks is phantom.
Wait a second. From the low of that, 6 ticks up creates the big next long bar. Put your cursor on it. So
this is phantom.
It could go, but it doesn't. I mean, but it could go lower without.
Absolutely. So that's why I stick my order there, hoping that it does come down and takes me.
But wait a second.
If you look at this, and you know what, on the 4P&F on your chart, it works. Doesn't do that. But this chart, for some reason,
I don't think it should be phantom because.
Well, if it wasn't, it would make this whole. If you go back and back test all this stuff, it works great. So when this bar forms, you put a buy 2 ticks in off of here.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have a print if that price didn't trade in that bar.
It does.
There's something off. There's something off because mine doesn't. I'm telling you, it could be a short one, obviously, but
that'll make my system much better.
I'm just saying. I think it's a thing in the setting. It's not the market. It's something in the setting.
That'd be great. But so then what you're saying is if your stuff, if the bar is formed right here, your 4 ticks won't exist here. If it never comes down there.
Because I think this, if I scroll over and say the high and low of the bar is what it's showing, no, it isn't.
Right.
I'm trading that bar. So something's off.
Then there might be something good here then. We might just go with the Holy Grail.
Unless your settings are off where it's creating, like I said, there shouldn't be phantom.
My settings are your, this is George's chart, isn't it? I know it says.
I think it's the chart definition we've shared, but I again, no bar should have prices showing that they traded if they didn't.
That never traded through,
Right. Yeah. But I like that what you know is what you know, meaning you know that the market rallied and you know what the depth of the pullback was, the first pullback. And you know that it was shallow enough to keep the bullish bias intact. Now, here's one thing I would advise. You are laying back trying to having the market come to you, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But keep an eye on ancillaries to maybe get you to jump.
jump in if something's taken off.
Jump
right?
in. Like
Yeah, I would.
here. I'll give you an example. And everybody listen to this. This is really an impulse bar, by the way, is a big up bar or big down bar, Robert. So I don't even use the term impulse bar, but impulse bar, it's a big move up or down.
Right.
One bar that's big up or big down. So this is what's important.
It's a bar that pulls out of consolidation.
Perfect. I hate getting corrected by a plumber. But what are you going to do? When you have, I'll give you, do something with your screen. Pause it because it's flashing right now. There you go. Perfect. So I'll walk you through an example. We're not going to use an S&P price, just the price, for example, say 1 bid, 2 offer. We all know what 1 bid means. That means you're trying to buy it at 1, and others are. And 2 offer means people are trying to sell it at 2. Okay? 1 bid, 2 offer. 1, that's the best bid offer. Mike's trying to buy it at 1, Mike, because you've seen a big up bar and the pullback is like to even. So you're going to try to buy 1, right? And you're bidding 1, correct?
Yes.
And the market's coming back to you. It's 2 bid, 3 offer. Now it's 1 bid, 2 offer. You're not filled yet, or you're not guaranteed to be filled. You're bidding
Right.
with the bidders. You're the best bid, but you're not guaranteed. 1 bid, 2 offer. 1 bid, 2 offer, and it's close to your fill. It's coming back to you. All of a sudden, and you want the market to go up after you get filled, but you're trading the ES, and all of a sudden the bonds get hit and oil jumps.
Right.
Why wouldn't you reach and just buy the O2s? Because, right? Think about that.
Yeah.
You
And I
might
do.
not get the ones, but maybe you could catch the turn, be long 2, it goes 3, 4, and you got it. You understand how it just
Right, and that's the difference between a seasoned someone that's kind of like if I go to fix your boiler, I walk in, I know before I walk in the door what's wrong. It's
Yes.
kind of like that.
Yes.
This is an acquired skill. This is not a skill that you talk to people. It takes 10, 15 years. I tell people I don't have another 5 years for this.
I never said it takes 10 or 15 years. Others that have said 10 or 15 years, they had the staying power. There are guys, if it would not, nobody lasted in a prop firm ever past a year. They'd be fired.
Well, that's the good thing about this. That's what's good about this program is we know we're getting it. This is how the professionals do it.
Yeah.
So if you want to duplicate the earnings or just it's not even about the earnings. It's about for me at this point, it's about being a trader that can consistently make money. Not the money, just consistently make good trades, and then the money will take care of itself.
The money and then become numbers. They become numbers, and
right. And all the time, and I'm sure everybody in this room puts so much time into this thing that you want it to be good at the end of the rainbow here. So if it happens to me that it ends up in my retirement, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I was hoping to transition out of that into this, but 35 years I thought it was enough of that business, but it looks like it's going to be 40 or 45.
How old are you, Mike?
I'm 52.
Man, you're old. No, I'm
Yeah.
just,
But I started business when I was really young, so.
No, you're not old, and you're not. You sound like you're young and energetic, and I think.
Yeah, I'm young at heart.
You have a mustache? I got a visual of you. You got black hair and a mustache.
Black hair, but not a mustache. Yeah. I'm not like Tony Montana.
Like the plumber. No, but you are the reason why you're a plumber because you started as a plumber.
Yeah, no, it's my whole family. We're heating, ice and cold business, heating and air conditioning. I am a plumber because in order to do gas work, you got to be a plumber in Westchester. So I qualified at a very young age to take that test. And,
in order to get your HVAC license, you have to be a plumber, have a plumbing license?
No, in order to do gas work.
Oh, gas work.
If you want to do gas work, anything, gas boilers, things like that, you need to have a plumbing.
And your bigger jobs are boilers, right?
My bigger jobs are like rooftops. We do service maintenance and replacement.
Commercial jobs.
Yeah, commercial and residential, sure. Yeah, boilers. Those are good jobs, sure.
You're not going to have boilers on in residential, though, are you?
Sure. Those are nice.
In the Northeast.
Why, you don't have a boiler in your... What heats your house?
Furnaces.
Okay. Well, we have those too. Yeah.
Well, you got heating oil though. They use mostly.
No, I'm a gas guy. I'm not an oil guy. I'm a gas guy.
There's no heating oil here. Well, we have gas that ignites it, but they're furnaces.
Right.
We don't have boilers.
I'm sure you do.
Most don't.
Right.
We had
No,
one in my old home. Now that I think about it, because they were different. There were zones, right? And they were like different cylinders. Is that what it looks
there's
like?
so many different systems,
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Not to get off track, but the reason why it's important to talk about this stuff is because there's an expertise in everything, and you guys have found it in this. Here's the other thing: if it's something you can't do, you don't piss away a lot of money trying to figure that out, and you won't ever feel like it's a failure if you can't do it because you turned over the right stones. And
Now,
none of you guys.
if everybody's got the 6P&F chart now, you'll see that there was a good down bar. The number one bar was a good down bar, but now it's a high-low bar. So now I'm looking long. I'm waiting for the short bar retrace.
It's a long down-up bar scenario.
Right.
Right?
Right. And then if it goes, well, here you go. But it's got to retrace for me in order to get in.
You also have to find, here's another, it's not a critique, it's a suggestion. The first one is ancillaries to get you in at a different price than you were expecting. Number two for you, Mike, is find the sweet spot of when this works. It might not be midday all the time.
Right.
You might because of lack of follow-through. In order for your strategy to work well, you need follow-through because you're going to miss the first move and you're going to look for the second move. And if you can't catch, there's no follow-through, you're lucky to get the first move, and you already missed that.
Yeah, me trading midday doesn't really happen. Me being an edge meeting midday doesn't happen. I'm usually trading in the morning.
Get better at catching the first move before the impulse bar. Get better at anticipating the impulse bar at the bottom or top of it. Get better at it leaving the station or consolidation.
It's just for me. It's kind of hard because, I'll tend to get chopped up more. Yeah, no, I'm not
trying. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you to trade it. I'm trying to anticipate it. You don't have to trade anticipate. Just anticipate buy stops above, sell stops below, and you don't trade it because you're right. You will get chopped up. Just get better at anticipating it. So I don't
know if you're watching your 6P&F, but the 6P&F.
I'm not. I'm watching your dumb.
Well, we're on pause, aren't we?
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is
I got it. Yes, so it's a long down up bar.
That phantom 4 ticks. It didn't go up. The price action didn't go 51.5.
It did.
It didn't. It didn't. I mean, I don't know. Am I crazy? Maybe. My charts it didn't. It's showing it on my charts like it did, but it didn't.
Yeah, it shows on my 4P&F that.
Yeah, if you wait for this bar to make a move, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Went to 51.75. Well, hold on, Ron. Now, just forget about that 1 second. You're not looking to do anything. You're waiting for this bar to close, so you know what the depth of the retracement. Or no, are you looking for this?
I'm looking long right now, but I'm waiting for this bar to close. Yes, so I can get in lower. Now, you talk about ancillaries. Will something get me in there? Sure.
Well, wait a second, though. That's what I'm asking you. Are you waiting for this bar that we're in right now to close?
Yes.
So you know the depth of the retracement. Got it.
Yes. Yes, definitely. But if I see something on my 6,500 volume chart, like I go into a demand zone or supply zone, I'm gonna take it. So I'm still trading too much. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But this is something that I saw. This is what I was explaining to you in the room the other day. That I thought might be good.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I gotta look at this because you got me.
Did anyone just see that?
Hold on a second.
There's other guys looking here.
Hold on, Mike. Please hold on. Damn it. You're like a toilet that doesn't run. Stop running.
It's still running.
See, I can make fun of Mike. He's Italian, and he likes it. I'm looking at 51.5 I have as the top of the 6P&F when I put it on my footprint P&F, okay? And we just started a new bar. So I actually see the contracts that traded at 51.5.
Right, but I'm telling you.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
Damn it. Now my cursor doesn't work. Shoot. All right, that works.
Just wait for this bar to finish, and then you'll see.
Yeah. No, you're right. It says 51.5, but it didn't trade up to 51.5. It traded up to, but see, my 4P or when I take the footprint and put it on a 6P&F, it doesn't show it went to 51.5. It shows it went to 50.75. Doesn't show it.
Right. Right.
But then the white one shows it.
Right. I discovered that last night. I was like, damn, this is not good.
No, it's not that it's not good. It's the
Oh, it's not good for my new system.
it's not for the back testing of your new system. Yeah.
Like, we better be funny tomorrow.
On my 4PNF, it doesn't show it went to 451 half. So it's funny because it can't. It only shows what it traded.
Right. It gives you 4 ticks as a phantom 4 ticks.
Could you unpause your screen now? I was looking at my stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, so let's watch it.
So if you watch this,
But you're not. What would you do now?
oh, I would have a long order down here, 2 ticks in off of this.
Don't say a long order. Just say I'd have a buy.
I'd have a buy.
I'd be bidding or I'd try to buy. I'm not saying
I have
that
a
to be
standing
condescending.
order. No, I
I'm
know.
not trying to be condescending. I just give people to talk to like you're in a prop meeting.
Right.
Just
Well, I
like,
told
I mean, look at the industry. There's, if I went in on a job, like the way I sounded with boilers, I'm not a mechanic, right?
Yeah, you're the best house I like to walk into.
My brother's electrical contractor, so I'm only going to use who he tells me to use. I had a plumber come over. I showed him pictures of me fixing. He goes, my brother turned me on to him. He says, abort mission. He says, stop what you're doing. I'll be there in the morning. But
All I got to say is I hope this is not the first meeting when you get a new student that this is the first one. Mike the plumber, let me watch this.
the plumber, I'll watch this one and make $1 million.
This is like every other room I've ever been in.
But he was good. He didn't charge me. I chased him down the block. He wouldn't take it. Those are the best ones.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
All right, so this on paper looks like it worked because it would have said it went all the way down to 49.75.
Exactly. If you go back and back test this on stagnant charts, it works every time. Most of the time.
Look at your 4PNF. If I'm looking at my chart, and I'll show my chart in a second, it shows that the bottom of this bar is 49.75, which is accurate. But on your 6PNF, it shows that, well, mine shows it's 49.75. What does yours show?
49.75.
And we're saying it didn't trade down there in this bar?
Nope. I mean, it might have now. I wasn't paying attention. The thing is, I'm talking about when it makes the transition over. Then I'm hoping it trades down into there. But if you look at this,
wait, hold on. Let me think of something. 49.5 plus 6 is 50. 51.
I don't think it did.
51. So it at least has to trade 51. So it opens up at 51. It went down 2 ticks. It would have had to go down. No, it's only showing me 50 half, not 49.75.
Yeah, right. If you look at my chart, 50-50, it never went down here. It never went down. But that's how you're trading it. I mean, listen, if it did that, every single one's a winner. You don't need to look at one chart. You can trade this way the whole way, and then we have the holy grail. So if you say your charts work, the price action has to come down to your spot.
Yeah.
No,
well, you know what? It's not on the 6PNF, but it is on my footprint 6PNF.
I mean, if you're looking at this, I would hope that we'd get into here, and then I know I'm good in here, and I'm out down here.
50-50
out more down there.
50-50 is the low of this bar. Period. It did go 50-50 off.
Yeah, but it's not showing that right now. It's telling us that this is 49.75.
Right. On the 6PNF, on the station to station, but on my footprint PNF, it's not. It's showing 50-50. It's low of this bar.
Right. So then what's wrong? That's the way it
Am I
does
a programmer?
Well, I don't know.
I think it's a setting or something because it's showing proper rotation.
But yours is doing the same thing?
Well, yes and no.
I mean, these definitions are yours, so.
Right. Yes and no. Yes on my chart that is on your right, but no on my footprint chart that you guys look at in the room. I switched that from a 4 to a 6 just now. It's showing me accurately not only the high and low of the bar, but how much trades on it, which is what the footprint does. I'll show my screen in a second.
I mean, the only time it's a problem is if you're sort of back testing on stagnant charts, and you're looking at
That's
and
it.
it happened to
Exactly.
me.
Yes.
I was like, wow, this looks really good. I mean, it only needs one chart.
Yeah.
But
Here's what you got to
if you're
do.
looking at other stuff, you can't look at just one thing. So.
Let me show my screen a second, Mike. Just don't do
Okay.
anything. I'll take the screens back. I'll show my screen. This is a good meeting.
Yeah.
This will be a good first meeting for everyone.
Guys are probably saying, I can't believe I gave up my half. I owe my an hour of their life back.
Yeah. I'm not even going to upload this recording. There'll be a gap between April.
Just play music.
What happened to April 12th meeting? Nothing. I got hit by a bus. Broke my leg. No, I'm serious. This is good. I like how you've morphed into a guy trading too much and actually put a stop to it in your size. And
yeah, it's just what the thing is. What my thought was always is that seemed the longer I was in the market, the more I would tend to lose because I was just constantly churning and churning. And if I traded bigger size, and I could make 4 or 5 good trades, and at 80%, trades that work.
Yeah.
And with the bigger size, I can make what I would like to make and get out and stop trading. That was always the thought.
All right, let me show you the difference here. This bar right here, first of all, I changed this to 6. Normally it's a 4. It's a 6 right now. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Is it?
It says 6.
It does? Yeah, it does.
Yep.
All right, so it's a 6. So here's the impulse bar. Here's the retracement bar. Now, this shows 50-50 as the low of the bar I'm in right now, okay? 50-50. Take it across.
Right.
Looks like 50-50. And it traded that many contracts on both sides of 50-50. Now we go over to this bar, and it shows 49.75. No, it didn't trade those 3 ticks. We now know that.
Yeah, it's usually 4. I was watching it last night.
That's why you got to have a couple charts and probably, I like the 4 and the 6. But it's not going to change the boxes that are forming and everything.
Right.
But, yeah, in a back testing situation, you got to make sure you understand that. I don't know why. In the future, people that watch this, don't ask me why that happens. But that's why you got to look at the footprint to really find not only where it goes down, but how much trades down there instead of just looking at a bar or a candle.
What I'm looking at, what most guys are looking at, they're looking at that thin area or George's POC and 1500 Delta. And I look at that stuff too. I just thought the other day in the room, I thought I had something. I was like, yeah, this is really good stuff. And then when you trade it, if it works, in other words, if the price action does work and it comes back to you, well, then it works.
Well, here,
very little heat.
Hold on, now, Mike. Re-back test it with the 4P. You have my 4P&F chart definition, right?
Yeah.
Change it to 6, like this chart right here. Are you looking at my charts right now?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So change it to a 6 and back test it that way, because now it's going to give you an accurate read on how low this bar came down to, and you take it over and say 50-50. So the best you could have bought after this bar closed, the best you could have bought was 50-50, and you would.
Well, then I wouldn't have got in.
No, because you'd be trying to buy down here.
Exactly.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
I'm looking.
You wouldn't have got in yet.
Right. So potentially it could come back to me.
Yeah. Where are you looking?
What it does is it forces you to be a more choosy trader.
Wait, 1 tick above this low? Where are you looking to get in?
2 ticks above the second bar.
2 ticks
2
above.
ticks below the bottom of the second bar.
So 49.75, which is 2 ticks above the low of this bar.
Right.
Wait.
40. Well, I think it's 49.5, isn't it? What is it?
Yeah, 49.5. So 50 even. You're bidding.
Exactly.
All right. Mm-hmm. You're bidding. Are you still bidding 50 after all this time, or is it discretion?
Right now, yeah, I'm still looking long. It doesn't done nothing for me.
Where are you wrong?
I'm wrong below.
How long?
Below the second bar. Well, you can give it a little room, 1 or 2 ticks, 4 ticks.
All right.
So if my first target is 4 ticks, I start with a 4 or 5 tick stop.
I thought you were going to say you give it a little room, like 20, 30 ticks.
Well, we could be low. You know what? You know what really works? But I can't say this in this room. Below the pivot. And you get 4 ticks every day, 95% of the time.
Well,
so
why don't you do that?
Well, because when you do take that hit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. Below, you just keep averaging?
No. That's years ago. listen, I made a lot of money averaging, but I get destroyed on that one day. So.
That's it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's
When you were asking George if he averaged, if he said no, I was like, liar. But he said yes. So.
Oh no, yeah, he said yeah, because he's a yeah, right.
I think everybody started doing that way.
I
the old
didn't.
Monte Carlo.
I never did, and I never did because I don't know why. I never did. I just never had a bad habit. Have I done it a few times? Very,
Yeah,
very.
but you learned the right way the first time.
That's probably right.
know,
Yeah.
We kind of tried to have to figure it. I mean, I tried to figure it out on my own, just like I did, everything else in life.
Now you screwed up my chart definition when I changed it. It's blinking at the bottom. So, but anyways, you're looking at this. You're looking at 50-50. At some point, it's midday. If you get filled, you might not want them. So you look at your ancillaries and say, what do you need to happen in order for me, to have it go up? And will I miss it? It sucks because winners, you tend to miss a lot. Not a lot.
Do you want to see, Anthony, do you want to see another chart that I have that guys might be interested in? I don't know
Sure.
if they can be interested in.
Yeah, no, I think we would be. Let me change the presenter back to you. Go ahead. You should see an option pop up.
Okay. Show my screen. You guys got me in here?
You had any relatives in Chicago?
No, I don't think so. I have relatives all over the place, but
Not outside Chicago?
no. Lanzalato is my last name. Lanzalato.
Yeah, that's what her last name is.
So this chart, red light, green light, this is an order flow chart. So you get color changes on order flow. Now I was been trading this for a year. It does actually work, but there's chop involved. So, there was losers involved as well. But when the order flow changes and you get a green background change, you take it, and your stop's always below.
So you play from the long side with a green background.
Yeah, I mean, this is another
what do you mean the
chart that I
order
actually
flow
look at.
changes? What constitutes
Well, the
order flow
background,
changing?
I guess either up or down, the momentum, something's changing. I don't know what the built-in stuff is on the chart.
Yeah, that's what I would want to know is what defines order flow change.
Yeah, this guy's not going to tell you that, but
Really?
it's an order flow. So in other words, when the market, when you say, are you looking at other stuff to get you in and out? So if I'm in these trades and the order flow changes on that chart, I'm looking to get out because I'm thinking,
Wait, pull that chart back up. Does it go? Is there instances where it goes red, green, red, green, red, green?
Yeah, well, that's the drawback. Sure, of course, just like anything else.
I was going to say it's
like right in here, you can get chopped up.
It looks like after a consecutive few bars, it goes red.
Yeah, but there are days, especially in the beginning of the day, where you can make money. You can get 5 or 6 winners in a row.
Yeah, but he's
That's the name of the game.
telling you that order flow changes. It's the consecutive bars. That's all it is. 2 green bars, it goes green. 2 red bars, it goes
No, it's not.
Yeah, I figured it out. There you go. Look, green, green, red.
I should have never bought it.
Well, I mean, there's always something like that.
Everybody's got something, I guess.
Yeah, but there is something to be said for playing the right side, and that's where guys that you listen to in the virtual office, like they don't have to get you bullish or bearish, but it's like what could get me. Listen, when I was trading my best back in the prop firm days when I was just starting out, I started making money right away. But when I would have my best days were, and same thing goes for today, is when I'm not bullish and bearish and bearish and bullish and bullish and bearish in that same consolidation. I could just flow from one to the other, and then I'll play it from the bullish side or the bear, and it's like I became so much better at recognizing areas as I went along, where it was straight ancillaries early on in my career. And if you guys, I think one way to practice relationships is on a sim, and all you have is no charts, just domes, and you're playing a correlation with something, with a couple markets. Just see how good you can get at catching turns, at catching whatever.
With that, you definitely need a lease because.
Well, no, on a sim.
Oh,
No,
on
no, no,
sim.
no, no. The practice though, you do it on a demo, and
Right.
you're not trying to make money. You're just trying to catch turns and understand the effect, the cause and effect to it. And I think if guys did that, and again, this is an exercise that I just think of, and if we were in this real meeting and all you guys worked for me, I'd say, this is what I want you guys to do that are struggling with understanding market relationships. And we'll circle back in a day, and I want to see, or 2 days, and I want to see your demo or I want to get your feedback on how you're able to now see the influence on correlations by practicing. Man, that's cool practice. You're just not distracted by anything else.
Right.
Relationships, period.
So that trade would have worked.
What would have worked if the Phantom wasn't a Phantom?
No, it would have worked because you would have saw the way it's going, and you would have moved your entry up one tick.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I would have got
and
into
even
that.
if
I
it
think
didn't,
it
yeah, and
gave you
even if
enough time to do it.
well, even if you didn't get filled, actually, you would have got filled at 50 when it went 50 even offer.
And I knew I had a point between that and the next zone. If you look at the 6,500 volume chart, I knew I was good for a point there. So until I'm banging into that zone, I would have continued
Well,
to try to get in there.
50 evens on the very next bar went offer, so
Right.
that's good.
Listen, this is definitely a work. I'm going to keep at it because I just think there's something to it. You said keep it simple. Don't look at too many things.
Right.
And the other day when I was talking to you, I was like, man, I think I got it. Maybe we should have this first thing. And I was only kidding. And here I am. But, I mean, listen, I think if you took a poll of the guys out there and you could look at one chart and you knew 90% of the time that it's going to work in a specific location, everybody'd sign up for that.
Yeah.
I mean, just, I don't know.
It's a layering of just a couple things, and all things are simple, but start out with just, I still think that people in today's meeting don't understand how a relationship works and how it could kick your rear end into a trade. So you got to practice it then. You got to put a dome next to a dome next to a dome, and don't look at anything else. Because if you're looking at more things than one when you're practicing it, you're not going to get good at the one thing you're practicing. Like an NFL football camp or practice session, man, they're just doing one thing over and over and over again, blowing the whistle. Here's where you got it wrong, and then they put it together. That's one thing to put together. I'll do a session maybe next week on what that exercise looks like. I'll do the exercise with you.
For years, that's what for me, I always said if I can put, everyone always says nothing exists out there, but if you can put a few different things together from different people in different areas and putting them together, it might work, make you a 70-80% trader, then great.
As long as the guys you're piecemealing stuff together for do it, have done it, and it's in this prop firm venue. It's so important to know what that venue, what goes on in those venues. And like I told you guys a million times, 95% of people who try to do this don't even know the venue of where it's done professionally. Is that crazy? You're damn well right. Man, and I don't blame you because I didn't know what a prop for was in 99, early 2000. I just knew someone was doing this professionally. I didn't know where. And when I found out where, and when I drove out to the office, I said, here, this is where these guys are doing it. I like the age range. I like the cars that were driven in the lot,
Yeah, listen, if everybody was making money, there'd be no money in it.
But most people make money in a prop firm, and most people lose money outside a prop firm. Those are the stats.
Yeah.
So not everyone in a prop firm makes money. Guys got fired or let go, but their leash was pretty long and pretty liberal in how they didn't squeeze them. They didn't make them worry. That was one thing about the company is they didn't really squeeze guys and make them worry. But obviously they weren't going to hold them in.
I mean, you pretty much know, didn't you know years ago? I mean, I know a guy, if a guy comes to work with me, I know in a few hours if he's any good or not.
Sure.
You could pretty much tell anybody walking through that door whether he's got the mentality for it or not. I mean, that's a big thing.
222, there's a day that you're going to do this for a living. Mine was the number 222. It was within a month, I think, of my career, April, May, almost 16 years to the day. But a month after I started in late April, It was in May, maybe June. I was trading one lots because I was early. They only maybe two lots, because I just started, and you start at 1, 2, and move your way up. I made 222 ticks with one lots. That's $2,200, and I knew that day that
Right.
this is I got it. Not that I got it, but this is my living. This is where I could do it. That's it.
Right.
222. That was the number. 222. And the guy, Ed, who was a back office guy, said, "You're only trading ones." I said, "Yeah, wow, it's a hell of a day." And that also helped, knowing that the size to the P&L was nicely proportioned.
Right.
So you feel like you could explain, and you done. You weren't able to explain something years ago like you could today. Is there been a difference?
Yeah, I mean, years ago I used to look at them as bars. I didn't look at them as people,
Good.
So, I mean, George is the biggest asset of this company, because one day when I first joined your room, I had a blowout day, and George must have called me like at 9 o'clock at night and talked to me for like 3 hours. And, he was like, you got to get out. I mean, that's what's stuck in my head. If it's not going your way, just get out. And
well, George is
listen,
he's a humble guy, not
oh, yeah.
humble, but a genuine good guy to call you, like that.
Oh, he really is.
Cool.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
both you and him are, really normal, great guys. So that's an asset to the room right there. But yeah, I mean, listen, I like the whole idea of it. And with me becomes a problem is, now spring's coming and I start getting busy, so I can't sit here all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll work all day. I'll come home and I'll look at charts. I'll go on replay. I'll do something like that. But
Man, you do work hard. That's pretty cool. You're committed.
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah.
Because you got a family, right? Couple kids?
Yeah, 3 kids. My last one's in the second year of college, so we've been through the college years.
Oh, really? That's cool. You started young then. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you're almost done. So you're empty nester.
Almost,
yeah.
Yeah, 2 of my 2 oldest kids are self-sufficient, so.
They are. Well, good for them.
Yeah, they're really good kids. They work hard, so.
Well, I always said you can't say you're a good person until you raise good people. And,
right.
Yeah,
no, they're good. They're definitely good kids, for sure.
The jury's still out with me. I still got kids shooting birds in the backyard.
Yeah, but those are the good years. You got to enjoy those years.
Well, they were outside shooting pellets and pellet gun.
Well, you have boys. I have girls. I have all girls, so.
Yeah. I should have videoed it, but he got up to a bird and crawled like he was in a military crawl, and he got it. He got it.
Really?
Spun the bird around, and he wanted to shoot a cardinal, and I said, "No way. Your grandmother will kill me. You shoot cardinals. You're not cardinals."
Guess he's listening to your anecdotes about shooting deer and birds.
Shooting deer now, and come in there, and he lets his son kill birds. Crazy. There's bald eagles around here. Obviously, we never shoot that. You're better off.
We have that here too, as well. Actually,
you're better off killing a person than a bald eagle. Legally.
Yeah, probably yes.
No, but all of that comes into the environment and like-mindedness that you guys are in. You know that by now, and all these other things. But no, this was a good session, Mike. I know what you thought, and it's not about when the owner told me this, and I'll repeat it. You're giving yourself the best chance, not just by being around guys that are making money, but also guys who are trying to do it. He says that combination is what's going to make you money. And he told me that in the interview. And he told me that where not everybody in that office, and he pointed to it, is making money. He goes, but being around guys doing it and guys trying to do it is where the overlap and the power comes and confidence comes and everything else.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I mean, I've been trading probably 9 years, and I would say for the 6 first years, I used to just blow out accounts. But the last 3 years, I'm trading off the same money that I always trade off of. So
nice.
It's just a matter of being, just being a more selective. I'm still looking for that thing.
You're bottoming out. You bottomed out. I mean, meaning,
I don't allow myself to get blown out anymore. So.
Well, George makes a good suggestion, and I think he's told it to you, is no matter what's in your account, pretend like it's a $3,000 account. Trade it
Right.
like a smaller account than what it is, so you don't devalue the money.
Right. Right.
And
Yes.
that's what you should do. You
Well,
should
I
only.
do that now. I'm trading 3 contracts now, 3, 5, but I don't go much bigger than that.
You tell your wife how much you've lost over the years?
She knows. The statement goes to her computer.
She get mad at you?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say, the first 6 years she was too happy. I mean, this consumes a lot of my time, so. But she's very, she's very understanding. She lives a pretty good life, so. It's hard to feel sorry for her. Whenever I lose, it costs me twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
I could see that. That's an invisible trust that you have. My wife has never asked me how I've done trading wise. How was your day? To make money? Never once has that been asked. Not that if your spouse asks you that, she's bad, he's bad. That was pressure I never had. But
well, she runs my other business as well, so so she's in every aspect of everything. So
Well, that's good.
She's a good sport. She really is.
All right, Mike. Well, so are you. I appreciate you doing this. And
No, thanks for having me. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, they don't.
I owe you an hour of your life back.
No, you owe us free, boiler work / plumbing
Yeah.
work.
If you live in New York, give me a ring.
All right, Mike. Thanks again, man.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
You too. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to stop the recording. Let me take the screen away from you, Mike. 1 second.
Okay.
Give me a second. Let me show my chart. So while that,
So do you think that's a flaw in the?
I think it's something, but I don't, yeah, it's only on the
6P and F.
But it's not
Yeah.
on the footprint one, man. I'm showing mine, and it's showing obviously accurate because the footprint isn't going to print unless contracts trade at a price. Same
Yeah,
thing should
Anthony-
happen, though, at a bar or candlestick.
When I was back testing on a stagnant chart, I was like, "Wow, this is unbelievable! How is it that the third bar it always comes back to within 2 ticks of the second bar?"
It's a
I
flaw.
was like, "It's a flaw." And then I started looking at it. I said, "I got to trade this live." I said, "This can't be."
But it's
And then
not a
thing-
flaw, or the flaw is corrected on this 4PNF. So do your
Right.
back testing again, but on this one.
on that chart. Yeah.
That'll give you accurate pullbacks. Like this one did pull back 2 ticks above this one.
Well, when
It got
you
filled.
back test on replay, what happens is you don't get into a lot of trades because it takes off without you. That's the problem.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing is you need something else to get you in on the ones you miss, so you miss less. That's why you have to focus on something else to kick your ass in rather than just the +2 above in this case. The +2 above
Right.
this is too mechanical to work.
I'm looking for high probability trades and trying to stay out of a lot of garbage. So for me,
Yeah.
it might be a better thing. So instead of taking 100 trades, I take 25.
No,
it's more
you're-
realistic to, what these
You're
guys are doing.
you're playing away from your weakness with this strategy.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to find a niche for me.
And you're staying on the right side until it's not the right side. The right side is up until one of these bars get taken out, especially this one here. And you know where you're wrong. So everything that we preach, know where you're
Yeah.
getting out for a loser before you get in is all, that's not something you have with most other,
No, definitely
strategies.
not. Yeah.
or they don't have good ones. They're just anecdotal like, oh my, where's your stop? Well,
Listen, I've been around the block a million times in all the rooms and stuff. This is by far, it's not even close to, we have people to talk to and, just, in those rooms, once they sell you their software, that's pretty much it. Let's face it. So.
no, it's and people in here, I don't know if you see their comments, but they're actually thanking you and very interesting. Thanks, Mike. No, seriously,
Okay.
I'm saying that.
They're all laughing in the room right now.
Yeah, he's got dirty finger. He's still got.
Well, I do have dirty fingernails, sorry.
It's not crap underneath there, is it?
No, don't do that. I told you.
Oh, that's
stuff
right,
and
that's
anything.
right.
Listen, on the coldest day of the year, if I pull into your driveway, you're going to be a happy guy. Maybe not when I give you the bill, if I lost that day trading, but
My pilot light blew out. They got pilots and boilers?
yeah.
Okay, sorry, furnace. So what's the? My pilot was real windy. It blew out, but I didn't. My wife told me that. She didn't tell me a pilot light blew out. She just told me it's not working, and I'm thinking
Right.
I call a furnace guy who's a guy that I know, and
Right.
I said, but don't go over there. I said, I'm going to be home, and if it's the pilot light, I could relight it. Well, it was, and I called him back. He got mad at me. He said, I could use the money. So, what do you want me to do? Take a hammer
his
to
kids
it?
have to eat too. It's pretty funny, but But listen, if your pilot light blew out, chances are there's something wrong. Just usually they don't blow out. I mean, unless you have a.
They didn't. It didn't. It was windy. Like down. Can it come down the stack?
Well, yeah, I guess it could. Anything could happen, but
If there's
usually there's
something,
something wrong.
you're selling the job now. If there's something
No, I'm
wrong,
not.
something will happen.
Listen, in my business, you don't have to be salesy because something's always breaking in somebody's house.
That's
It's
true.
not like when you were trying to sell me the Edge programs. Nothing like that. By no means.
I tried to sell you the Edge, so I had to stop answering your questions.
It was like every day. It's like, Mike, you gotta get the room. You gotta come to the room. And I told my wife, I'm just gonna join this room and get this guy off my back. And what did I tell you? As soon as I stopped, I had to say good morning to get anything out of you in the morning.
Yeah.
I get more mentions on Periscope, and I'm not even there.
The questions the guys that should do this are the guys that have questions where the answer is in it. And what bothers me, like with you, is you had done so much education, and I'm thinking, why would he say no to this? This is the trade he should say yes to. And it always happens with guys is they go yes, 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 like to education. They go yes, 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 no. And they should have said no, 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 yes. And it's not their fault, but it's just, I don't like when guys do that. And I know they're only doing it because they're sick of spending for education. And I don't blame them, but I know when they should do it.
Well, you just think it's going to be another $2,000 here, $2,000 there. I mean, listen.
I don't blame you.
The amount of education I had. But it's not like that. I mean, I enjoy the Edge. I enjoy the thing like we just did. Probably won't enjoy this one that much, but all the other ones, I enjoyed like when Peter and Dan came on. Those things are really good. Or when you get into some like when you explain your first move. Because in the beginning, I was getting into trades and you and George were getting out. George gets in way before everybody. He's got a sense for sure. And that's the keen eye that I want. The keen, it's like. I'm getting in at 34. He was in at 38 and ready to two targets off.
It's not, and it always seems effortless. Like someone said, it's good to see, people, other guys that are thinking it than just, because it seems effortless to me. It's not, but it seems like it because of sometimes it is, but it seems like it's that step one. If you can't explain it, then you can't trade it.
Right.
I have to repeat what he said. He goes, with the pilot light, he says, what the hell is your furnace? He goes, is your furnace outside?
You live in a tent.
Yeah. It's really unique. So, yeah, that's the pilot light blows out every couple days.
You're lucky your furnace don't blow up. Yeah, it's good. I got it, honey.
I got it. What's the carbon monoxide? Nah, that's just, that's fine. That don't.
And these kids are almost college age,
Yeah, they got good lungs. They can handle a little carbon monoxide, makes them strong.
Right.
Are they so the pilot light goes out just so you're saying something else is going to happen in this furnace. That's your expertise.
When's the last time you had maintenance? Do you do maintenance?
What you do maintenance is it works. What am I doing maintenance on?
No, you should be doing maintenance. I mean, listen, there's three schools of thought. No, it's not. People maintain. I maintain my own. I go down. I clean it. Dust is bad.
I do clean it, and I do.
What I would do in your case is if you have a standing pilot there's a sensor in there. It's called a thermocouple. It's a $5 piece. You would just change that, and that'll keep your pilot probably from going out. And instead of it going out in February, you take care of it now.
Well, let me ask you something though. I'm going to end the recording because it's starting to get off the topic.